to make sure you get it done for you. Not for someone else, but for you. Like this podcast this is important to us. I know it's important to me. Make sure.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
I know it's important to me. I don't know about
it's important to me because I get to talk about.
All right, yo. Let's go. We're recording once again. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Fenton. How you doing, brother?
I'm amazing. It's a sunny day. How are you?
It's good. I was out there really early this morning, so the dog had to be walked.
Walk the dog. Walk the dog, Ken.
It is sunny. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a little chilly though. I ain't gonna front. It smacked me in my face.
New York is cold. No snow, but we cold.
I'm loving the no snow.
I love
anyone who says they love snow. They I can't wait for it to snow. You don't shovel snow. So
right.
Stop it.
You don't be out there shoveling.
I love the people. Oh, I love when it snows. You don't shovel that.
You're out there looking out the windows. What you doing?
Right.
Taking pictures.
You want to throw a snowball.
Instagramming. It's beautiful. It's so peaceful. It's not peaceful when you're out there breaking your back. Welcome to Products of Circumstance, podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men. The show is unscripted, obviously, unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly. Ken's going to tell us what we're going to talk about in a second. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with somebody on their personal development journey. And that being said, Ken, what are we going to talk about today, bro?
Today, we're going to talk about showing up for yourself.
Oh, man.
That's why I was laughing before. All right, so people, if it's the first time joining in, so Fed and I will talk for about half hour sometimes right before we start, just catch up with each other real quick. And we were talking about showing. Fenton did bring up the whole notion of showing up. I started hysterically laughing. He had no clue why. But yeah.
Now I do. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, so what's showing up for yourself? What we were discussing just now, making sure you put the time in. For sure, we're both busy men. That's what we were talking about before we started the recording.
Right.
How we're both busy, when it comes to the podcast. If I'll stay for myself, the podcast, 4 children, my day job in sales and automotive sales manager, building reclaimed wood furniture on the side when something's ordered in.
My God.
To painting. I do large scale paintings sometimes. I'm actually finishing one right now.
Amazing.
Making sure things in the house are done, cleaning, laundry, you know the deal. But still, on top of all that, still showing up to make sure you get the things you prioritize or that you feel are important in your life, and still showing up to make sure you get it done for you. Not for someone else, but for you. Like this podcast this is important to us. I know it's important to me. Make sure.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
I know it's important to me. I don't know about
it's important to me because I get to talk about, mental health and awareness with one of my best friends who I consider family. I enjoy that. I enjoy showing up every week. If even one person out of the 8 billion people in the world can take something from this podcast on a daily and use it to help themselves become better or help them come out of a situation like a dark space. I love that. That's why I show up every week.
So what happens? Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What does it look like in your life when you are not showing up for yourself? Like, what does that feel like to you? What does that look like?
I don't know. I show up for myself.
I don't know. If I weren't showing up for myself, maybe I could answer that.
No, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Right. That's one thing about me that anyone in my life can tell you is if I say I'm going to do something, like even down to like my children, which I think is very important. If I promise my children, all right, we're going to go get small, like my daughter wants to get rice pudding sometimes from this place that where we live. A simple thing like, hey, Dad, you're off this Sunday. Can we go get rice pudding? I will make sure we go get that rice pudding. My son wants to do Legos. I don't tell him I'm too busy. All right, let me cut an hour out of the day. Come on, let's build something together.
That should work.
You know, my other one, he wants to watch Jurassic Park for the 50th time.
Right.
He's into the last three. I'm not sure if he had too many Jurassic Park fans.
Right,
yeah, we're watching Jurassic Park, and we're watching it again and again. But I will sit there with enthusiasm and pretend like I didn't realize a dinosaur was about to step on that car. But I make sure I show up. So I do. I keep promises to myself as well. You know, right. I'm on my. I don't. It's not a diet. I'm changing my eating habits. I want to lose some weight for my health. Mm-hmm. So I'm making sure that I'm taking note of what I'm putting into my body. Listen, I will have some potato chips once in a while. Absolutely. It is what it is. But I'm taking note of what I put into my body. Right. So yes, I am showing up for myself.
I don't think I've ever told you this, but I definitely glean a lot from you being a person that shows up for yourself on a regular basis, on a consistent basis. Not to say that I don't show up for myself, but there are areas that I know that I struggle with. If you know me, you know what they are. Like, it's eating right is a big one for me, and exercising. Those are two things that have consistently, unfortunately, tragically been a struggle for me to show up for myself consistently. And I can, always point to things why injuries and things like that. And you get into like this spiral mindset where it's like, well, I can't work out because I'm injured. So I start feeling bad and I eat some stuff that I shouldn't eat to feel better because I get the dopamine. And then, try those pants on and, that makes you sad too. So then you got to go eat some more.
What a spiral.
It's a spiral until there's a pile of pants that don't fit. And then you're just, what are we doing here? Anyway, so, you being consistent with your exercising and everything is I've been doing really well lately. Actually, I've been showing up for myself, and I stepped on the scale today, and it didn't go up. It didn't go down.
Hey,
but it didn't go up.
That's good.
It didn't go down, but it didn't go up. What I find is that when I show up for myself, I just feel so much better about everything. Like, it's disappointing to not show up for yourself. Like, it all starts from us, right? It's hard for me to do things for my family if I'm not doing them for myself first. We always, I think people forget that you're an individual first. Like, you're part of your family, but you're a person, on your own first. You're an individual. And you have your own needs and your own stuff going on in your head and your heart. And you got to take care of that stuff. Excuse me. Like, I don't want to always go back to this story because it's like such a obvious one. But when my wife was pregnant, I decided I was not going to get a job. That will never not sound bad. But
I'll show you.
I'll show you and the baby. It's about me. But I knew it was the right decision for me. It was the right decision for me. I trusted God. I bet on me. And I knew that things would work out because I knew that I was going to show up. I was going to show up first for myself because I knew I didn't want to work in a job where I felt undervalued and unfulfilled. I wanted to do work that really mattered to me and that I thought would matter more to other people. And so I pursued that and I made that happen. And it was the right decision because in doing so, I was able to make sure that I was good. And if I was going to be there for my wife and child emotionally and show up to do those things, like go to the park and to, watch the movies and act surprised when the dinosaur and watch Paw Patrol a million times. I don't even look for a regular cup these days. I just drink out of my kid's cup. I needed to make sure I was good. How could I sit here and do a mental wellness podcast when I'm all messed up in the head? The fact that we're here is a testament that like I put myself first and I've showed up for myself to make sure that I was okay. And now I can tell other people, go do that. It's a really good decision, to show up for yourself. So, for me, that looked like making the decisions that I felt were going to make me happy And then also like little things like, I don't know. In the mornings, it's really important for like me to get up early and kind of make sure that my family gets out of the house on time. Because if I don't, then everything kind of falls apart. But like if I don't get to bed at a decent hour, get good sleep, and get up early the way that I want to, which is how I like to do it. Like my wife will sleep late. That she's not a morning person. She's a night owl. I'm like a pseudo night owl, but I'm a morning person. I get up early and I want to, as soon as my feet touch the ground, I'm like, let's go do stuff, take over the world. And she's, you know, like, please, you know, put the cover back on me and turn the lights off.
Stop making so much noise.
Yeah, which is fine. People are different, right? But at the same time, like if I start to do that, because, you know, I like her and
she's okay.
she's nice.
She's nice to me.
I like snuggling with her. It's really easy to just stay in the bed, but it's not actually me. And when I'm laying in the bed, as nice as it feels, like my mind is like, dude, you should be up. You should be doing stuff, because that's how a morning person thinks. So I had to not only like express to her, but like also be comfortable with not doing things the way that she likes to do things. As nice as it is, I got to just show up for myself. You know, like, dude, I'll get up. I'll go start doing the dishes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go warm up the car. I just go nuts as soon as I wake up. And that makes me feel good. And by extension, it helps my family, because I can get the food ready for lunch and I'm doing this for everybody and the kids' clothes are set up and and it makes everyone else's life easier. So somehow, by extension of me taking care of me, I do a better job of taking care of everybody else. And I think that's an analogy there. Oh, what is it on the airplane? Put your mask on first. What about the kid? Don't worry about the kid. The kid will be fine. Put your mask on.
Kids.
You got to breathe. You can't help anybody if you're dead. Put your mask on.
Taking this fresh oxygen.
That's the name of this episode. Put your mask on first.
Oh my God. Yeah, but when we talk about showing up for yourself, to just make sure. Look, like Fenton just said, if you take care of yourself first, right? Make sure you're good. Make sure that your mindset's healthy. You're ending up helping the people around you anyway. Like you just said about the dish, it's funny because when I wake up, it's all right. Let me get Mason ready. That's a 7-year-old. Get his breakfast on. Unload the dishwasher. Right. Pack his lunch. Walk the dog. It's a routine every morning. It's the same routine, but I enjoy it because in my head, all right, I'm getting all these things done, which is actually helping the household anyway. You know, the other two are getting onto the bus when Mason's waking up. It's a routine that we have, but it's like you know, the author that said, you know, make your bed. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what we're doing. We're making our bed. We're doing our routine in the morning, and it helps for the rest of the day. It will help you show up. Every small task that you're able to complete, right? So you keep completing small tasks to get to the bigger task. That helps your mindset. It helps you, like, you know, you have to have the crumbles, right? You follow the crumbles. You follow when you have crumbles in the ground, when you're following the path. What is it? There's a story with the kids they were crumbling. Oh, yeah, like Hansel and Gretel. Thank you.
That's it.
had a brain fart. Listen, I'm 42, all right? I had a brain fart. But like with Hansel and Gretel, they were following the crumbles. So leave those for yourself. Finish those small tasks in the morning, especially 20 minutes of exercise, whatever it may be. Watching what you eat during the day, and not just to lose weight, just to be healthy in general. Because in society right now, everything's filled with sugars and salt and all kinds of byproducts. Be mindful. Be mindful what you put into your temple, right? Yeah. When it comes to what you watch on the internet, we all, you know, we stare at the internet sometimes, but be mindful. Make sure you're not putting a bunch of junk in there. There's also a lot of positivity. There's also a lot of this podcast, for instance, right? Listen to this podcast if you're going to be scrolling through numbness. But yeah, so it's things that you right, things that you want to bring into your body. Remember, your body's a temple. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. But showing up for yourself, that's very important. You got to do it. You really have to just have the mind frame of what can I do to make sure my tasks are being done, reaching my goals, taking every step closer and closer to another goal. Remember, the journey is the fun part. Because once you hit a goal, then what? You got to make another one, right? So have fun in the journey of it.
I'm sorry. There's this commercial. There's this commercial. I don't know what the brand is, but there's this commercial where this guy is like eating something and he's like, nobody gets my chores done like me. But he didn't do the chores, but he's treating himself like if he did anyway, whatever the snack is. And it's so funny because he's like, he thinks he's showing up for himself, doing what he needs to do, but he totally isn't. Oh my goodness. I gotta find that commercial. It's so funny. But yeah, like, you know, stuff is hard, man. It is. It's hard to, you know, we were talking before we started recording about all the stuff that we do, right? And I'm like listing all the things that I do, the podcasts and the websites and I was telling somebody, you know, people show up for the things that they want to show up for. They commit to the things that they want to commit to. And everything else, they just fall by the wayside. And we're like that with everything, because how you do anything is how you do everything. I will look at a text message, clear as day, it just popped up. I could see it. My screen is on bright. Notifications are on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not responding to that. Like, I'm not going to respond to it. It is not important to me right now. Whatever this person has to say, I'll deal with it later. Not right now. And then another text will come in 9 seconds later. Oh, look, let me make sure I, respond to that. Like, we prioritize what we want to. We show up for what we want to. If you don't prioritize yourself, you're basically walking around like not a whole person. You're not complete. Like, we have needs. We have things that need to be addressed. And how do you choose not to address the things that are important to you? You know, I think a lot of people fall into the trap of taking care of others before they take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. Right. And I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup, man. You have to make sure that you're whole. Do we make sacrifices? Yes. And it's not a sacrifice if you have it to give. Right. Sometimes we give out of our need. We give out of our lack. But that should be a temporary situation. It shouldn't be this way of living and this way of being. It's not sustainable. You know, we got to fill our cups up. And I don't know, something about getting older just has taught me and continues to teach me day by day. I got to make sure I'm good. I will not be good for my wife if I'm not good. I won't be good for my clients if I'm not good. If I'm not constantly learning, staying on top of the latest tech and the trends, how can I serve my clients? They're going to come to somebody who doesn't know what's going on and can't give them what they need. You know, my kid, here's a really important one. And at some point, this needs to translate into my wife as well. My daughter really likes to go on dates. She loves to go on daddy-daughter dates. And we go to the mall, we go to the city, we were able to do all these things. If I'm not filling myself up so that I can pour out into the world such value that I can have the financial means to spend the time on a Tuesday and go to the mall with my kid at 2 p.m, it all starts with me taking care of me and showing up for myself. When I show up for myself, I show up for others, which gives me the resources to spend the time with my daughter and I can show up for her. Mm-hmm. If I fail to show up for myself, I don't provide value for others, I struggle financially. Sorry, baby, daddy's got to work. Don't have the time. And we don't think about, because it's such a long, tail kind of thing where what you do today for yourself translates months, weeks, years later into benefits for other people. But it's 2018 when I made that decision. I'm putting myself first. I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to make this business work. It's now 2023. I get to reap the benefits of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I showed up for me, so now I can show up for my family. And, you know, I'm not saying I have it all together, but what I'm saying is that it's easy for somebody to look at me and say, well, look at how Fenton gets to live and make assumptions. This was hard. This was hard. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And still is one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life, is to keep this business going and to keep getting better year over year. But wow, the benefits of it, you know, the payoff of being able to show up now for other people is incredible. And I wish everybody would, you know, find it in themselves every day to just show up. By the way, that make your bed thing, I was looking it up. This is
Yeah, I heard you typing away.
Yeah. Admiral William H. McCraven gave this commencement address to the graduates of University of Texas at Austin on May 17, 2014. And he talks about if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. Because when you do that one thing for yourself, first thing in the morning, you've now shown yourself that you can do something well and do something, you know, great. And it sets the tone for everything else that you do. And, you know, so I'm not saying people who don't make their bed in the morning kind of like are setting themselves up for failure. I'm just saying that people who show up for themselves and make their beds in the morning, you set the right, what is it? Your attitude determines your altitude for the day. And when I look at my bed, I'm like, oh, it looks like I'm in a hotel. I walk out of my bedroom feeling amazing about myself because I showed up. You know, I'm going to post that in the description because it's a really good video to watch.
It is. Well, it's a nice wrap up there. I like that.
Paw Patrol.
It's all about backyardigans, bro. Get it together.
Backyardigans. I got a story about backyardigans. I'll tell you when we're done, when we turn this off. Everyone, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with somebody on their personal development journey. Thank you so much for showing up today and for taking a listen and checking us out. We hope that you show up for yourself all day and all week. And we'll see you next time.
Take care, brother.
Peace.
Peace.